What is up, guys? My wife and I just recently took a trip to Hawaii, and while we were there we got a rental car, and I wasn't really prepared for it. So I've done some research and I'm going to offer you guys 5 tips today on how you can get the best deal on your rental car. So my first tip is to be prepared for the upsell. If you're like me, you probably have reserved the cheapest car that you can get, but when you go in to pick up the car, they're going to try to offer you a more expensive car, and they're going to try to justify it some way, saying the car you have isn't comfortable or it's not good for their roads. When we were there, they were really pushing us to try to get either a Jeep or a Camaro. They said that the Jeep and the Camaro would be more fun and that they'd have more space and all this stuff. But the things that they didn't mention is that on Hawaii, the gas is super expensive, and obviously those aren't going to get as good of fuel economy. They also didn't mention that parking is pretty tough in a lot of the places in Hawaii. A lot of times there's just spots on the side of the road that you're going to just pull off. The smaller the car you have, the easier it is to park it. Not to mention the fact that they don't tell you that most of the speed limits in Hawaii are pretty slow. The fastest speed limit I saw was 55, and that was for about a 5-mile stretch of road. Most of the time the speed limit was only 35 or maybe 45, and to me, if you have a Camaro and you're restricted to 35 miles an hour, that's not really fun, it's just torture. I had to tell the lady probably at least 5 times that that's not what we wanted, and even after talking to her, they almost make you forget that this isn't the first time you've driven a car before. They're pretty good at their job, they're pretty good salesmen, they do this all day, every day, but as long as you're prepared for what they're going to be offering you, you can be ready to just tell them no, that's not what you want. Not only are they going to try to upgrade your car, but they're going to try to sell you additional products like insurance or maybe prepaid gas. So the deal with prepaid gas is they'll offer to let you pay for the gas in the car beforehand and offer it to you at a discount of like 10 cents a gallon or something. But the problem with this is if you return the car with any gas in it, you're basically giving all that gas to them for free. And it also brings us to our second tip, which is one of their products, the insurance. Don't buy their insurance. They're really going to push the insurance because that's where they make a lot of money. So you do need to have some kind of insurance on the rental car, but typically the car insurance that you have for your own personal vehicle will cover you when you're in a rental car. In addition to your car insurance, a lot of times if you have a credit card, you can use that to pay for the rental car, and it will also offer some kind of insurance for you. Now these are free, but when you get to the rental car place, they're going to tell you your car insurance isn't going to cover some of the costs, like loss of profits for when the car is being fixed. So what I would advise is to call your car insurance company and maybe even your credit card to see what the insurance that they offer covers while you're in the rental car. This way you will be prepared when you show up at the rental car agency. Now, if your car insurance and the credit card don't offer the insurance that would make you comfortable while you're in the rental car, you can also look at third-party insurers. You can look online. There's different insurance companies that offer insurance specifically for while you are in a rental car, and they're going to be cheaper than the insurance that the rental car agency offers. So my third tip that I have for you guys goes along with the first 2. It is to simply make a budget for what you want to spend on your rental car and then stick to it. If you make a budget beforehand and know how much you want to spend, you're not going to be as tempted to stray from that budget and purchase the upgrades that they offer you when you are at the rental place. Now it's important to stick to your budget because you do want to have fun on your vacation, but in addition to that, you don't want to put you or your family or whatever in financial distress just because you went on vacation. So have fun, but also don't do something stupid and spend a bunch of money that you weren't planning on. My fourth tip when you're looking at rental cars is to look at options other than the mainstream car rental agencies. I know that there's one website called Turo. It's similar to Airbnb, but with cars. So people put their own personal vehicles on there and rent them out. Sometimes you can find cheaper rates than what the car agencies have. At the same time, they're probably going to be older cars with more miles. Depending on what you're doing on your vacation and what you need for your rental car, it may be a good way to save a little bit of money for you. So my fifth and final tip is that when you go to the rental car agency, you're the one that's going to have the upper hand as long as you're prepared. Let's say you do have a car reservation, but maybe you do want one of those upgrades. You want a bigger car, or maybe, a little sportier car, whatever it is. Because you already have a reservation, you can use that to your advantage. You can hear them out to see what other options they have for you, or maybe you can ask them about the car you're interested in. It gives you the ability to always say no if you don't think it's a good deal. Don't be afraid to, pull up on your phone to compare the offer that they're offering you to what's being offered online. They really want to make the upsell, and sometimes they're going to get a little too desperate to make that sell to you. And so if you can use that to your advantage, you might be able to get a good deal on an upgrade car. So those are my 5 tips. I am by no means an expert when it comes to rental cars. If you have any tips, put them in the comments below. And as always, remember to subscribe to my channel by hitting my logo and hit the like button.